Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KitBadger.com out here for another gear review, and today talking fishing. This guy right here, which is the Aventik Fresh Start Tenkara Rod Kit. What is it? Well, it is basically a turnkey fishing kit and ultimately a Tenkara rod, collapsible, which is really cool. If you're unfamiliar with Tenkara rod, Tenkara fishing, kind of think of it as like basically fly fishing, but you don't have a reel, which on the one hand is really nice because this is way easier to pack than a fly rod and way easier to set up than a fly rod. So I'll go over kind of some of the components. At the heart of it, of course, is your Tenkara rod telescoping. I'll show you that more in a minute. You have this line keeper. You can take it on and off. I pretty much always leave it on there. Comes with 100 feet of tippet. Also this Tenkara line, which is already on there. This right here is kind of like a cloth bag. It's longer than that. I'll explain that in a minute. And then it comes with this kind of like hard case tube. There's another cap for the other end. And it comes with a cap and a plug. So you can either put this plug in here to keep everything secure, or honestly, I always end up using this cap, which slides on, and this little rubber piece comes over, like a little keeper, stretches like that. Also comes with a couple flies and this like 4-in-1 snipper tool thing, which I really only use the snipper to basically get rid of extra line. You can also do some other stuff with it, help you tie stuff. And there's actually, right there, you can actually sharpen hooks on there too. But that's kind of what the kit comes with. I enjoy fishing, especially it's fun in the backcountry when you get up to these alpine lakes. Having said that, I like fly fishing. I'm by no means a good angler. My cast is terrible, but I also hate fly fishing poles. Like, they're a pain. And I refuse to have like the giant thing on top of my vehicle so I don't have to take them apart. And then you end up taking them apart and they very quickly get wrecked. That's been my experience anyway. So these are super quick to set up. With this line keeper, I just keep the hook shoved in it. There's basically some like soft like foam material, so you can shove the hook in there, and then you just start unwinding your line. Really quick to get these things in action, which is a ton of fun, rather than spending forever getting something set up. And I'll actually show you there's a second setup on here too. But once you do that, I usually just pull a section out, grab the next section, hold it tight, make sure it's snug, next section, snug, next section, snug, so on and so forth until, bam, we're done. I think a little over 7 feet. And then, out there. Oh, there's a fish right there. See if we can get one to bite. Probably not, because it's called fishing and not catching, but we'll give it a go for a second. Filming fishing is really hard. It's not quite as bad as hunting, but it's pretty hard because something else has a say in it. Come on, guys. And part of it just probably not that hungry. It's like 9:45 right now. But I promise it does work. The other thing I do really like about this though is how easy it is to basically take down. Honestly, I'll usually just leave my line in the water if it's not going to get snagged on anything, and start collapsing these sections. And once that last one goes in, take this line and put it onto this line keeper and just wrap it up. Again, you can pull the line all the way in first before you do this if it's somewhere where it's going to get caught. This is pretty clean rocky bottom, so non-issue here. And just continue to wrap this thing up. The thing that's nice also is you can actually have a second setup on these, which I'll show you that in a minute. Reason being, this one with this Tenkara line, it's actually, man, what is on my line right there? Something got caught on there. But this Tenkara line is actually really good for, I've found it really good for actually fishing in like alpine lakes, whereas not as good in streams. And so you can actually use another setup for that. And like I said, I actually have 2 setups on here. But once this is wrapped up, I want to do a good job of actually hooking it in that foam so it's not getting hooked on other things, to include the Tenkara line like that just happened. And bam, there we go, all done. And then I think I still have it, hopefully I don't lose it. Take this cap, throw this guy back on, and basically done. Yeah, stow the rod. And real quick before I forget, this orange line, I forget what it's called, I'm blanking on the name, but it's actually really good for streams. And so I have it come up here, and this piece of tape, it's actually a piece of patch material, I have it taped there, and it's wrapped around, and that fly right there is the one for the orange. This one right here is for the Tenkara. And so pretty easy to swap these out. So if I'm fishing streams, I can go ahead and throw that guy on. Pretty handy. So does this thing work? Yes. Does it work when I want it to? Not usually. I actually came out this morning from, woke up, made some coffee, drank my coffee. I'm like, I'm gonna go fish. First cast, bam, caught a fish. I was like, man, this is awesome. I'm like, I should probably go set my camera up. Set my camera up. Second cast, caught a fish, and my camera caught focus on basically a tree branch. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Everything's blurry, but I did catch the fish. And honestly, yeah, I've had a ton of fun with this. Usually the way it works is I will catch a fish, I'll pull out my phone, and then I'll record it, because otherwise I'll have hours of bad casts and me not catching fish, because I'm not a very good fisherman, but I do have a lot of fun with it. I think these Tenkara rods are really cool, in part just the packability. Oh, as I mentioned, there's that sleeve that basically goes over it. I used to use it more often. Yeah, I used to use it all the time. I would always, when backpacking, basically bring it in that plastic tube, just because it protects the rod really well. And then I had that thing on because it came with it, whatever. Probably never use it again. I'll just use that plastic tube. Reason being, one of these flies actually came loose, caught it, and it took forever to actually turn that thing inside out to get the fly unstuck. So if it happened once, probably happen again. Pretty much done with that, and it doesn't really save you anything. So probably just use the tube. But being able to have a packable rod and to basically take it anywhere and go fishing. Also, as far as like the length of the cast you have, it's limited. Does that matter? Not usually. I mean, one, I'm fishing lakes, so they're honestly close to shore, and usually fishing small streams. Like, I wouldn't take this to a giant river where you're trying to chuck it out like 15 yards. Like, this is not that. But you also can't put that in your backpack, easily set it up and take it down. Like, I really like these, especially backpacking, really cool. And price-wise, dude, hard to beat. I think like $32 on Amazon, something crazy like that. And it's a turnkey kit, like it has everything you need. Of course, you might want to add different flies, things along those lines, but yeah, everything you need to get started. So if it's something you're interested in, there'll be a link down below. You can check it out. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbachelor.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.